mean, guaranteed, and we saw the reaction to the Avengers, where Warner Brothers, like literally the next day, they're like, "We're doing Justice League. Oh, it's happening, guys. Pay attention to us. Look at us flail our arms."
Yeah.
You know, and you got to give that to the writing. I mean, that's they did
Hmm.
it and they pulled it off and they knew what they were doing.
Yeah,
Yes, they
so
did.
for acting though, I give it a 4.5 out of 5 because while I think the main cast did a great job acting, it probably helps that most of them did their roles before, so they have a good
Exactly.
feel for them. Some of the minor characters, like the diner girl
Hmm.
and what's that other? Oh, and the professor guy. I can't
Of
even remember his
Salvig,
name. Yes,
Oh
Salvik.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
think they didn't really do their best
right?
with the
he
roles.
was
Like,
hamming it up, but pretty much it's like, okay, you're controlled by an evil villain. How are you gonna act? Oh, well, Tesseract and portals and blah blah blah.
yeah,
I mean, I would ham it up if I was
No,
him.
I
I mean,
mean, yeah, none of these characters were as good supporting or extras as Crane Dad was. I'll give him that.
oh, I know that there
But
was no Crane Dad. This movie needs more Crane Dad.
Captain
Thanos did a
America's
good
been
job
shot in
too.
the leg. What can we do? Lower down Crane Dad support beams.
Hmm. And who is it? Maria Hill or who is that chick
All
played?
right.
She didn't really do
Kobe
much.
Smulders.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she
Yeah,
she
just
she
wasn't.
did.
She didn't do much.
I get the feeling they're just putting her there to A, give Nick Fury someone to bounce dialogue off, and B, if, Sam Jackson never says, I'm done with this, they bring her up.
Yeah, and I think also in a way too, they're setting it up so just in case the second Avengers film does good enough, they could do like Civil War and they could have like Maria
Right.
Hill come up, or basically they could do whatever they want. Like they have the potential.
A lot of the actual deleted scenes, which I thought would have been great for her character, were the ones where she's behind Nick Fury's back talking to, what the hell are
The
those people?
council.
Yeah, exactly. So, we'll see where it comes from. I mean, they have a reason for why they're doing it. And don't forget also, she's a TV actress.
Right.
So we're probably going to get her on the Shield TV in some sort of roles, reoccurring
Yay.
or something.
Yeah, I feel like they're gonna use her for a lot of cameos
Yeah,
since Iron Man's very restricted for cameos as of his contract.
And
right.
because a
So
certain somebody who, fuck it, I'm just gonna say it, the movie's been out forever now. Because Coulson is dead, Coulson can't do that shit anymore.
Well, no, Coulson's back for Shield.
Oh shit, is he really?
Oh yeah, he's being resurrected for the Shield.
Oh,
He's
wow.
technically not dead then.
Oh, wow.
So I
Huh.
think that brings back into the life model decoy. Was it or was it not?
Yeah.
oh, I was thinking that the show might just be like taking place sometimes before the Avengers started, but whatever. I was really thinking that since How I Met Your Mother's ending soon, that leaves her
Yeah,
available to do cameos.
yeah,
Of course, then again,
So
this is comics where, characters come back from the dead like every freaking week.
uh-huh.
yeah, everybody wants him to be the Vision. I can't freaking say. Everyone wants him to be the Vision
Eh.
Yeah, yeah. Why not? I mean, if they
because
could
they
pull it
kind of
off.
hinted to it. They
Yeah,
said my good eye's gone, all that stuff.
Actually,
yeah.
one of the things I really loved about Coulson in the movie, and I can't, say this enough, is that, this great idea Whedon slipped in there that he is a fan of superheroes. He is like us, the audience, and it's his death that propels the heroes to be the team that he always wanted, the heroes that he looked up to, and to fight the evil. I think that's just beautiful
Mm-hmm.
that they were able to weave that in there, that it was literally the death of their fan, the death of someone who looked up to them and revered them.
Right,
Death of the family. That's not real
Yeah,
family.
right.
yeah,
I just had to do that because you review Batman.
yeah, 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 that too.
So, like for enjoyment, I give it 10 out of 10 straight because
Oh, hands down.
Oh, it was
there's
super
some minor
enjoyable.
flaws in it, but for a comic book fan, this is like a massive nerdgasm in your
Oh
face
yeah.
over another nerdgasm, flipped in between a Dutch oven of a nerdgasm.
Yeah. I
Like
mean,
it's just so much.
I was arguing with one of my friends who's a giant Batman fan.
Hmm.
Like he likes Marvel, but it's his Batman all the way, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And I
I
mean,
have a friend like that too.
and I was talking to him. He's like, and we were arguing Avengers versus The Dark Knight Rises. And he's like, The Dark Knight Rises is the best. And I'm like, well, tell me this: how many comics have you read in the last year? He's like, I don't read comics. I was like, and there you go. For a
Yeah,
comic book
exactly.
fan, enjoyment, The Avengers, it is the pinnacle of the genre. There is no comparing. Like, it
And
is the best.
And you know what? I was the one who actually, was pretty favorable towards The Dark Knight Rises. But even though I agree this was the most fun comic book movie all year. Like, you would not have more fun.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, and also they had Thanos.
Yeah,
Yeah, friggin' Thanos. Did we ever think we would see that? No.
and not only
Yeah,
that, like
exactly.
I mean, the moment that movie ended, when they showed Thanos, you knew Guardians was on the way because you can't
Oh,
do Thanos without the Guardians, and that's when it really spiked my interest. I was like, are they actually gonna pull the trigger on this? You know?
and the line I love too, to challenge Earth is to court death, and then just Thanos turns around. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, it's just
if
so
you're a
much.
comic book guy and you know what's at
You
stake,
you know what that means,
right?
yeah.
You show Thanos like that is the like third or fourth most badass villain in comics. In comics, like he's
Yeah.
right up there with freaking Darkseid and such. So
Yeah, he's the sort of villain you need for a big team up like this.
exactly.
Yeah, it's just so great. And the fact that, for me personally, I own the video or the movie on iTunes, my PS3, Blu-ray, and DVD. I saw it 12 times in theaters. I've seen it
Damn.
over 20 times total with
Yeah.
like DVD. And the fact that I still enjoy it every time. Hell, I even saw it 3 times on YouTube, even after I bought it. Like,
It's just
Uh,
it's
that
just
good.
yeah,
that much enjoyment you get from it as
I've
a
seen
comic book
it
fan. It's just
way
so.
too many times for my
And
own.
it
I mean, the month it came out at the end of September. I think it was like the 18th or 22nd. And by the time it was October, I saw it 16 or 17 times.
and too, it's like for everyone who says, yeah, well, it was a fun popcorn movie, but it doesn't mean all this stuff you say it means. I'm like, but it does though.
It
Superhero
does.
movies will never be made the same after this. They have opened up the entire Marvel universe. They can do anything now.
And as we've seen, they are doing anything they want.
Yeah,
Because
I mean,
we're going to get a talking raccoon with a knife.
yeah, and it's because it's connected to like the biggest movie ever, people are gonna be like, yeah, okay, yeah,
Yeah,
I buy this talking raccoon.
Yeah, and Jason Statham, I swear, he has to voice
he
him.
has to. Yes.
It's like
I would
made
love.
for Jason Statham.
Oi,
Um,
let's get cups of tea and blow shit up. I'm Rocket Raccoon.
so, I mean, I think we're all pretty much agreed. At a whole, we think Avengers is probably one of the greatest comic book accomplishments. And
There,
I would say even as cinematic accomplishment compared to how much they've been able to pull off.
I'm glad you used the word accomplishment because that's really what it is. Even for like, the more stuck up film snobs, and hey, I know who you people are, I've been one of them, who will, look up their nose and go like, oh, well, the third act, blah, 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 and the hero's journey and such. Come on, guys. Even that aside, you have to admit, it's pretty just amazing that this got made at all and that was as good as it was.
Yeah. Um,
Props to Kevin Feige.
yeah.
Yeah.
Props to
Yeah,
Kevin Page, Marvel, and everybody that, believed this could be done.
yeah, really. Props to all the, and again too, the reason Avengers is as good as it is, the reason that all the Marvel movies are as good as they are now, is because they are 100% fearless.
Uh-huh.
They're not afraid to lose. They're not afraid to get it wrong, and shit, they did get it wrong. Fantastic Four, friggin' X-Men 3, and a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah.
But the fact is, you gotta keep at it because eventually you strike gold. I wish DC would learn from this and not be like, oh, Green Lantern was a flop. Well, let's take 5 years off or whatever, and I guess we'll have Superman come out, we guess, maybe at some point.
Maybe.
It's like Green Lantern didn't do well. Let's do more Batman.
Yeah, that's basically it. It's like, oh, is Batman the safe bet? Okay, cool. Let's go with the safe bet then.
Yeah, but for my scores overall, 27 out of 30 equals a 90%. You've heard good reasons why. I'm talking like to you guys, people watching this video. So when you complain in the comments, oh, you're a Marvelite, oh, you're a fanboy, things like that, think about what we actually talked about.
Go
Yes,
Don't
like,
back
just
before you complain or start complain. Set this to 000 and listen to it again.
yeah, again, we're not Marvelites or DCites or whatever. We just love comics. And if you just love comics, Avengers is pretty freaking great.
Yeah.
yeah, like you look at my top 3 favorite heroes at this moment, or of all time, really, it goes Peter Parker, Spider Man, and then after that, Tim Drake and Shazam or Captain Marvel. So
And hell, you know what? Even if you don't love comics the way we do, and we saw that with the success of the Avengers, you're probably going to like Avengers anyway because it
Uh huh.
connected with so many people.
And I actually like you brought that up because my dad doesn't like comic book movies. He just doesn't like them. It's not his type of thing. He likes science fiction
Same with
to
mine.
to the point where him and a couple of my cousins were at his house a couple days ago, and I walked over to pick up my daughter because he was watching her. There was like six Bosnian dudes, and these are all, fucking Bosnians are like, we're serious people, dude. They're
Hmm.
sitting there drinking beers, watching the Avengers, having a good time. I'm like, that fucking answers every single thing I've ever wanted to see about the Avengers.
I know it's connecting to people in the way these other comic book movies just have not been able to, and that's kind of amazing. They've found the magic
It is.
formula. They found the golden ticket
Exactly.
to the comic chocolate factory that is the Avengers. And now this allegory is breaking down Willy Wonka.
Dark Knight Rises.
That just earned us like 5 dislikes a second video. You see the score we gave it, and then you go dislike, dislike, dislike. One, read the comment section because most likely what you're gonna complain about has already been mentioned, and we already answered that question or statement, whatever you want to call it. And
Actually,
two, watch the video. We justify everything we say.
it's funny you should mention that. I was actually listening to Kevin Smith and Paul Dini do a commentary on Batman: Mask of the Phantasm, and they both said as writers that they loved The Dark Knight Rises, but how come they just couldn't mention that how Bruce Wayne got back to Gotham? That was the one thing that pissed them off because it would have been just one line of dialogue to fix it. Well, oh, I had a blah 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 in place,
Well,
and that would have been fun.
actually, if you see all the crazy fanboys, you don't need that explained because no one wants you to figure it out by yourself because he's so fucking cerebral.
His
Yeah,
buddy Clark picked him up.
he wants you to go all SpongeBob with it and use your imagination.
Okay. Well, I'll do that then. His buddy Clark picked him up. That's
No,
what
I've
I'm
had
thinking.
so many fucking people, send me messages whenever all those Dark Knight Rises, they're all like, no, you don't understand. No one wants you to have to use your thoughts. I'm like, so then why can't you just use your thoughts for Avengers? They're like, it's not the same movie. I'm like, fuck you.
There you go. Again, one movie is fearless, one movie is kind of scared of its own subject matter.
Well, considering he's not even called Batman, they try to shun away from ever calling him that in the fucking trilogy.
They don't call Catwoman Catwoman. They barely are. See, one problem I had with Bane is the fact that you would have never known he was Bane until they called him Bane.
Yep.
Yeah. And he's
He could have
really
been
not.
Travis.
Yeah.
He was Bane in name, and that's about it. There might have been another one or two things, but they strayed away so far from the character that, strangely enough, the Batman and Robin version was a little more faithful, and that's
I
kind of
know.
scary.
How sick is that? Again, it's like his origin was in the movie. It just wasn't his origin.
You're scaring me.
Yeah. Again, I watched Dark Knight Rises like a couple nights ago. It's like a half a perfect movie. When him and Catwoman are beating up thugs and then he fights Bane in the sewer, that's the
Uh-huh.
height of the movie, and
Yep.
it never gets better than that.
Okay, so Joel, when I'm editing this, do you want me to put your